So I said in the tease that dreams can cover several levels, several different layers of our life at different times, different subject matters. Why on earth would a dream do that? Well, it's very simple. Because we are living several layers at the same time. We're living in a relationship. We are living our health issues, if we have any, and we are living our career and so on, and all these other things. We live in many different spheres concurrently, and our dreams reflect that. Normally, though, when I'm covering a dream, I pick a strong, hot topic, and I say, this is what it's about. So, like in the last dream, I was saying, is the wooden about the elimination system? And when I channeled, I was told no. And it's not that it's not about that. D does have an issue there, but it's not the strong focus of that dream. It's like if we were to take the top layer of the dream, what is it? And it's not that. But that other layer is there as well. And we could have looked at that if we wanted. And this is often why different people will look at dreams and get different things. What I tend to do without ever saying it is I pull all the layers out at the same time. I don't say this is a different layer. I just mix it all up and say, here's what it's about. It also gives a nod to your digestive system that you need to watch something there. And that's how I'll do it. I don't leave things out generally. But here I'm going to point them out in a more obvious way. So here's the dream from Mel. There was a horse chasing a girl in a pasture where I grew up. She was running for her life, trying to get away from the horse. Her dad was in the pasture as well, telling her to run. He has long grey hair that was pulled back in a low ponytail. She was able to get away from the horse. I was on the outside of the fence. The horse that had been chasing her was huge and had huge muscles, not anything you would see in real life. It got to the fence and jumped over it. I was worried that it was going to hurt me or Oliver, my dog that was with me, but it didn't land on me or him. The dad was still inside the fence and raised a silver gun that he had and said something like, I'm going to kill that horse. But he aimed and shot at the other horse that was in the pasture. I was in the line of fire of that shot. I said something like, hey, I'm right here, which made him aim the gun at me even more. And then he realized that I was there. He calmed down a bit and was able to see that there was a person there. But at first he was so angry at the horse that he couldn't see clearly. Okay, so that's the dream. I'm going to go back over it a bit and then tell you what it means. So we have the horse chasing a girl. We have the horse in the last dream. We know horses have to do with healing. Is that's what it's about in this dream? Absolutely. Why? Because it's a super powerful horse with big muscles. And that can only be about that. So the dreamer has that ability. She's a healer. And I talked to Mel, and I said, okay, why are you having this dream? Because I know she works in the spiritual field too. And I thought she was doing healings on people. But she does them remotely. And that's a different gift, a totally different gift. And so I said, what makes you afraid of doing the hands-on healing? Are you doing it? Assuming she was. And she said, no, I don't. And the reason I don't do it is because the remote healing works just as well. And I said, yeah, okay, gotcha. You're never going to get away with that with me, though. Yes, it does work, but your dream is saying you need to do this one. So you've told me why you won't do it, and I'm not accepting that. So what is behind the fact that you're saying that? And anyway, what came up then was lots of things. And every time you hit the drill down button, it was a little bit more uncomfortable for Mel. So she doesn't do it essentially because she's afraid that she's not going to be doing it 100% right. Again, not something we can accept as an answer. We want to really get to, there's something underlying that. And so what we got to was she just really doesn't feel good about doing it. So I channeled on it, and we get it. We see it in the dream. And this is generally the way it works for me. When I channel on the dream, I want to see what I just got somewhere in the dream. And what they said was she was killed in a former life for using this gift. And she wasn't even caught using the gift. Some friend of hers or colleague of hers was caught using their gift, and they were promised, hey, you'll be allowed live if you give us 3 other people who are in your group. And that person gave up Mel as one of the people, and Mel was killed. but so was her colleague. I'm saying colleague, it wasn't colleagues, but anyway, so she was killed. And so there's two things that we get out of that. She wasn't even the one responsible. She just had a gift, and she was told, she was ratted on, let's say, and taken out because of that. So that's her underlying fear of using the gift, that it will lead to her death. And I then look at the dream and I go, okay, I want to see that in the dream because I just got that. Where is it in the dream? And we see it when the horse jumps over the fence, and she says, it doesn't land on me. So she's afraid the horse will kill her. So then we see in the dream, okay, there is a fear of death if I get close to using this gift, or get close to the gift, with the horse representing the gift. And then we have Oliver, the dog, and Olive is a pun on, it's normally a name you never want to see in a dream, because it can indicate that somebody has suicidal thoughts, and the dream is coming along saying, please live. That's what Olive in a dream, or Oliver, is really about. And so it's one of those things you don't like, and you look for other things in the dream to see, okay, how bad is this? And here, it's not bad. It's about, I want to live, so therefore I am not using this gift in this lifetime. And so it's not about suicidal thoughts or anything, but it's definitely connected to fear of dying if I use this gift. And so that matches with what I got. And then we see something else in the dream. But let's, again, go from the start. The horse is chasing a girl in the pasture. So anything that we're running away from in a dream, that's the fourth rule of dream interpretation, avoidance. Whatever you're trying to avoid is something you need to accept, turn around and accept. And so she needs to get into this hands-on healing. Absolutely. It's a masculine energy gift. It's going to help heal her own masculine energy imbalance. That's why we do it. Being chased in the pasture where she grew up, so we know it's something to do with childhood, A, because the girl is in the dream, and also because it's where she grew up. And she's running for her life, so we see fear for her life again at that part of the dream too, trying to get away from the horse, or from the gift. That's the way to look at the horse. So her dad's in the pasture telling her to run, so that's part of the problem. So that's why she doesn't use the gift, and we have to link that together. So she has to heal the issues with her dad. He has long grey hair that was pulled back in a low ponytail. So hair represents thoughts. This represents her thoughts being restricted because a ponytail confines the hair, pulls it back. Her thoughts are restricted by dad. So her thoughts about the hands-on healing and other things to do with masculine energy because of his relationship. She was able to get away from the horse. Kind of good. It doesn't kill her. I was on the outside of the fence. So the fence represents the heart, and so does the pasture. So this is another layer in the dream. It's healing for our heart because the horses are in the pasture. Emotional healing for emotional issues around that. We don't normally see emotional stuff come up around men in your dreams, but here we have it. So this is one layer, healing for the heart, emotions, and so on around that. And that's going to obviously be to do with relationships, which is another layer in the dream. So the horse had been chasing her and was huge, had all the muscles. We covered that, not anything you would see in real life. It got to the fence and jumped over. Okay, so this is saying, don't contain your gift. It's not good. You're not going to be able to contain this gift. You have to actually use it. But then she says she thought it was going to hurt her, but it didn't. So again, this gift, using it in this lifetime, is not going to hurt you. This is a different lifetime. You have to go back 80 years to be persecuted for something like that. Don't be crazy. Yeah, that's mad. I said it on a show recently. 1947 was the last time somebody was prosecuted in England. It's crazy for doing something spiritual. The dad was still inside the fence, raised a silver gun that he had, and said something like, I'm going to kill that horse. So again, connection with dad around the gift. And so you have to tune into the dream to see, why is that? What is it possibly that is telling her the issue with dad is connected to it? And what dad does is he picks up a gun and shoots, and she's in the line of fire. And that fits with the past life thing. And so I asked her, because she wasn't the one that was caught or anything in a past life, but she got taken out in the line of fire with somebody else who was caught doing healing, helping and healing. Of course, terrible thing to be doing. Don't do that. That's going to, horrible person. Crazy. Anyway, Dad was like that. You didn't have to do anything wrong. If anybody did anything wrong, Dad could just explode. And it could be from anywhere. He could just decide then, I'm going to take it out on you because somebody else did this. And that's the way her childhood was, that Dad would just put you in the line of fire regardless of what went on. And if you had anything to do with it or not, it didn't matter. You're still going to be taken out by him. And so the result was that she retreats into her head. She gets out of her emotions. She's like little girls. They just love Dad. They want to love Dad. And she had to learn that I can't just love Dad. I need to be in my head and figuring out, what way is Dad today? Is he in a good mood, in a bad mood? Is he triggered? Is he not triggered? All these things. So she's up in her head saying, is it okay to be around Dad? Or do I need to retreat and keep him on the other side of the fence like she's doing in the dream? And so this has caused her a problem then. She has a big issue in her life with being blamed for things that she didn't actually do. And it ruins her relationships because she always has a fear of that. So this is one of the things that she's got to overcome. And healing that is going to help her get in touch with and use the gift in a way where she's not going to feel like I'm going to be taken out for using the gift. And that's the connection. Then she shouts out and says she's right here and so on. And that's it. So what have we got? We've got 3 layers. I'm looking at the time. We've got relationships. We know that. Well, partly channeled it, but we can see it. She keeps men at a distance because she keeps Dad at a distance. And we talked about that. But all these layers interweave. We have healing the heart and healing her emotions around men. Definitely about relationships, but also physical, or let's say emotional. And then we have the healing gift. And strong reference in the dream about that, about what she has to do. Thank you for watching this clip from the Dream Interpretation Podcast. If you want to hear the whole show, there's a link directly under this video. Please like and share with your friends, all of your friends. And don't forget to subscribe to the podcast at thedreaminterpretationpodcast.com. That's also where you can submit your dream to the show and have yours featured. You can also download my free dictionary that has thousands of symbols that will help you understand the meaning of your dreams. Thanks for listening.